you've used, as of last night, you used 12 different centre-half pairings in the Premier League this season. I mean, I know in the recent run, the forwards have been blamed or the fullbacks have been blamed. But can you explain the knock-on effect of having to use 12 different centre-half pairings just in the league? The overall impact of that?
It's a bit of a shame that after how old is the game on this level for sure, like 100 years, we have to explain these kind of things, but it's no problem. Football is all about individual skills, of course. Then you have to bring them together, and then you have to make it work. So it's about the structure of the team. It's about stability. It's about reliability. It's about knowing what the other boy is doing in this moment, so that you can react on it or prepare your reaction. That's football. And in our specific case, it's about leadership as well on the pitch. Means who leads a line, who is used to do that, all these kind of things. And if you go really far back, I think it's not a secret that Virgil van Dijk leaded our last line. So organization-wise, I push up, move here, move there, these kind of things, with the ball as well a little bit. But that's how it is. So it just developed in that manner. So that was then a job for a while for Joe, who grew in the job and did that, stuff like this, so all good. Then Joe was out, and Joel played together with Fabinho. I think that's how it started, if I'm 100% right. And so now both players are not the most vocal players on the pitch. Let me say it like this. Plus, we missed our natural six. Now, when we speak about structure and stability, that changed the whole setup. So usually in football, when one player has the ball, all the others know kind of what will happen, because you are used to it. So he steps in, or he passes, or plays a long pass. And all that was gone in a period when we played every 3 days. And the boys did really well with that, to be honest. But it cost a lot of focus and energy then to change all these things and to adapt to these things. And that cost then, what is the word? Fluidity. Sorry? Fluidity. So just that things happen. So like bam, bam, clear, that you pretty much can pass while you look. There no look passes are pretty much not possible, because you have no idea where the guy who didn't play last week will go then. And that's the situation. That's the situation. But it's not, that's just a description. That's the situation. And I think so far we deal quite well with that. Not exactly probably a manner like people want or you want, but it's a tough one in a strong league. And so last night it looked really good. Again, against Man United looked good, but people will see it differently because we lost that game. But in a lot of games it looked good, so it's just starting new pretty often because the center half pairing changed so often. That's just the problem of this season, of course.
Thank you, Andy. We got Chris Baskin.
Hi. Sorry, as usual, you probably touched on this earlier, but I'm going to mention it again. I mean, you said last night you're not picky. That was a phrase you used. I just wondered, could you just maybe explain? It's obviously you're trying hard to find a centre back, but just explain to those who just think it's just a click of the fingers, you're Liverpool, you can go and get one. Why it is so particularly difficult now in January, and maybe is there a shortage of great centre halves anyway? Just generally in football at the moment, it certainly would be available anyway.
Well, again, Chris, why do I have to answer? Do you know the situation with centre halves out there? Do you know the clubs where the centre halves are playing? You know the clubs where they're obviously interesting because everybody's talking about them, where they're playing. And tell you me if one of these clubs needs money and has to sell a player. So, and if they need money, then they want crazy money. But is that the thing what you would do in that moment, like in a situation where nobody knows how exactly it works? So I really don't understand that. If sitting as a football fan at home and think, but they have to do something, that's one thing. But sitting in the same situation as a journalist and think it like that makes no sense. Because you know exactly, you're long enough in the business, you know exactly how it works. And it's not about, we see the situation and we lost two of probably the best centre halves out there in the market at all in a period of 6-7 weeks for the whole season. So that's massive. And then you have to look, and then you have to find solution in that moment. And it's a winter transfer window, and everybody says, now you can do something. So we try. Actually, we see the situation. We don't close our eyes front of it. But why we are doing that, we have to find solutions, and that's what we do. And we play football, and we play some good football, and maybe some lesser good football. That's the situation. To play your best season, you need to be lucky. You need to be lucky with injuries. We all know that. But for us, the situation is like this. We are not lucky in these moments. I think we can admit that. And still, everybody expects us to play our best season. That's okay. We only have to win football games. Find a solution for this game and win a football game. And make the season as special as possible. That's what we try to do. And we cannot go out and say, by the way, you saw Liverpool, we struggled a little bit on the centre-half position. Are you ready to sort our problem? So that's not how it is. How is that? The whole time, we are busy with checking the specific things in the market. We always did and do it now as well. And we will see if there will happen something or not.
It's always better hearing that from you, Jürgen. We can say it, right?
I don't think so. Actually, I don't think so. I understand.
No one listens to me. If I write, if you say it, maybe they'll listen. You know.
But I don't understand that. It's not always that it's only. I would love to read if somebody wrote. Sorry, man, I don't want to. Or listen to a piece. Somebody just give your opinion. You are like 20 years in a business or longer, maybe, and give your opinion about it and just write it. It's not always about.
I think we did.
Because I can only say the obvious stuff.
They do that as well, but you don't read it. So I do, and it's very good, Chris. Very good.
Thank you, Chris, for all the articles you wrote. I didn't read. Yeah, thank you.
It helps them if you read it. Thank you, Chris. God bless you. We'll go to Dave, finish this section, and then we'll go to this piece. Dave.
Jürgen, two-part question. First,
does he write it as well?
Oh, no comment.
I've definitely written it. The first part is in terms of fairness, because you're asked almost every week about Virgil van Dijk and how he's doing and whether he'll come back. No one ever asks you about Joe Gomez. So I thought it is fair to ask where he's at and whether there's any chance of him being back before the end.
Second question, Dave. So the second part of the question, so we need to move on to the
subject. And the second part of the question is, given that you've got two long-term injuries and Joel Matip clearly is struggling with recurring injuries, then it places an emphasis on finding one of these top-class centre-halves for next season. And obviously, I'm guessing you will have to bear that in mind now, given that you've got two players coming back long-term, another injured, and obviously you lost Dejan Lovren as well. So that's something people aren't taking into account, perhaps.
Thank you, David. Right there. So so sort the problem you have now. I think that's how you do it usually. You sort the problem you have now, and then we will see how it will show up in the future. So it's not, we cannot, and we have to, how is that? That's what we constantly do. We find solutions. Joe Gomez is actually in a pretty good place, but far away from being back. So he walks around, looks completely normal, is not yet out on the pitch and running, or even an Alto G. It's just a really tough injury as well. Will he be available this season? When does the season end? May?
Yeah.
May. We have now. Will be close, at least, I would say. I don't expect, so I would be positive surprised if he would be back this season, to be honest. And all the rest was about the future playing. Yeah, true. That's how it is. But we need the solution. How we do it, we find solutions for now in this way. Case now for Sunday for the West Ham game, and then so that's how we see it. It's the ideal world would be the short-term solution is the long-term solution as well. That would be great. And I don't know if we can do that, but we will see.
Okay, fantastic. There we go. Thank you, guys.